going to make a sketch in ballpoint after a painting by Johannes Vermeer, my favorite painter from the past, my favorite painter of all time. and this painting is called a Drunk Sleeping Maid. So she drank a little too much, and I'm just adding some hatchings now. I like how the ballpoint glides over the paper, and I'm delineating the nose, or not really delineating actually, but I'm putting down some hatchings. I had a little bit of trouble of getting the nose right actually in this drawing. And after doing the eyes and the nose, I proceed with the outline of the face a little bit and the mouth. I think when you look at my drawings, I often work in that order. And now a little bit of below the face. And if I had stopped here, it would have been a nice minimalistic sketch, I think. So when you look at these videos, sometimes if a video is 20 minutes, or this one will be about 12 minutes, but sometimes I look back and I think, why did I go on after the 7th minute, or the 3rd minute, or the 9th or 11th minute mark? But sometimes you miss the opportunity to keep it a minimalistic drawing. You draw a little bit too much, so you just go on. I mean, this needs a little more work now. If I had stopped at minute 2.5 or something like that, it would have been nice, but as it is now, it needs more work. It's in a different phase, so I'm adding total values with hatchings, and it's just a matter of subjective it's very subjective how you do these things, how you decide when to stop or just go on. But for me, I just had fun drawing, and I liked how that pen glided over the paper, so I didn't want it to stop that early, I think. And I'm delineating the face a bit more with adding hatchings and adding tonal values here and there, trying to get the eyes a little better. Because sometimes you start with certain placement, and later on with this drawing technique you see that it needs to be a little more downwards or upwards. And both sides of the nose have some sort of shadow, dark areas, semi-dark. In the forehead you see a little bit of ink that was too much, I think, from the ballpoint, but that can be a nice thing to have these kind of little accidents from a technique that you use. Nothing has to be perfect. It's nice that you have these little mistakes, because they add something to the drawing, I think, sometimes. There again, you see that the ink from the ballpoint was a little bit too much. And I really admire people who can make a ballpoint drawing and who can keep it clean, but I'm not that kind of person. And I'm adding details here and there, and all the while I'm doing that, I try to refine when I'm drawing constantly. I think the left eye is a little bit off now, so later on in the drawing I think I correct it a bit more. The placement of the left eye is not good, I think, at this moment. Anyway, now I'm just adding tonal values to the eye sockets, or how do you call that, the area around the eye. And now a little bit of what she's wearing on her head. It's some sort of 17th century hat. I don't know how to call that, but now I started adding hatchings in one direction. I oftentimes use cross hatchings, and in this drawing, and you see that from now on, I think, or later on, I use mostly hatchings in one direction, and it's nice to draw with this ballpoint, because I've grown accustomed recently to draw with pencil, as you can see on my drawings, and now I like using this ballpoint. It goes very smoothly over the paper, so I like that. And now I'm trying to refine the tonal values. So that's, you could say that this is another phase in the drawing. So first I added all kinds of scratchings and hatchings in a sort of undisciplined style. I shouldn't say that, but it is in all kinds of directions, and now I'm adding hatchings in one direction. So this adds a certain uniformity, I think, to the drawing, and it's a good way to adjust the tonal values of the drawing. And I didn't plan this. It's just when you go along with something like this that you think, well, or you don't even think it, but at a certain moment you just enjoy adding a certain kind of hatchings, and you think, well, this seems to work, so let's do this a little bit more. And I'm trying to get the tonal values right now. And when you make a drawing like this, I try to, when it's not a really minimalistic drawing, I try to add some context around the face, some sort of hatchings, or a certain, I wouldn't say pattern, but a certain background around the face that I'm drawing. Otherwise it seems so isolated and a bit boring. Perhaps it's a nice way to make a certain composition when you add, parts around the face. And but you can make also a deliberate choice to not do that. It doesn't have to be boring at all if you do it well. But it's also a bit of a choice. I'm not really thinking about doing it another way. I make these late at night usually, so I'm just having a little bit of fun drawing these. And now I proceed with tonal values with ballpoint. So now I get the hang of it. I was trying, I'm overdoing it here now, to be honest. But I was trying a little bit early on, and now it seems to work mostly. And I found it interesting to just use hatchings in one direction, because I usually use hatchings in several directions. But I thought it started to to look similar to the original, more or less. Especially with this technique, with the lights and darks. Oftentimes using lights and darks in such a way, focusing on tonal values can make it very realistic and look like the original more than only using lines or so. I overdid the cheek on the left, I think. I made it too dark. Maybe I realized that and I added some very dark accentuations in the area below that cheek. So it becomes a little bit lighter to the very dark area below there. And adding some more hatchings that same direction. What shall I do? Oh, a little bit there. Sometimes you don't know, should I stop or should I add a little more here and there? Sometimes it's better to stop when you are doing all kinds of extra things. But I think not in this case. It's an okay drawing, I think. I don't think it's a perfect copy, but I think the nose could be better. But anyway, it was a quick drawing and I enjoyed making it. Thank you for your attention. Please subscribe. Thank you.